The floodwaters are rising. Your food supply is gone. Most crops are dead. But some plants don't just survive flooding, they thrive in it. For thousands of years, civilizations built their survival around these extraordinary organisms. They grow where nothing else can. They feed millions when everything else fails. These are the 10 most powerful survival foods you can grow in flood conditions. Let's count it down. Coming in at number 10, water spinach. It grows so fast in floodwater, farmers can barely keep up with it. Water spinach, Ipomea aquatica, is a hollow-stemmed leafy vegetable built for flooded fields. It thrives in standing water up to 3 feet deep. Harvest it once, and it grows back in days. It produces continuous food with almost zero inputs. Across Southeast Asia, it has fed flood-affected communities for centuries. Nutrient-dense, fast-growing, and virtually unstoppable. Number 9 has been feeding survivors for over 10,000 years. Coming in at number 9, taro. Ancient Pacific Islanders called it the plant that never failed them. They were right. Taro, Colocasia esculenta, thrives in waterlogged, poorly drained soil where most crops immediately rot. Its massive, starchy corms store underground, protected from flood damage above. The leaves are edible too. One plant feeds a family. It tolerates flooding for weeks at a time. Indigenous communities across the Pacific and Caribbean have survived catastrophic storms on taro alone. Number 8 grows directly on the water surface. Coming in at number 8, water chestnut. You can plant it in a flooded rice paddy. It doesn't care. It wins anyway. Water chestnut, Alechocarus dulcis, grows submerged in shallow standing water, producing dense, starchy corms just below the mud. It requires no dry land whatsoever. The corms are packed with carbohydrates and store surprisingly well after harvest. Chinese farmers have cultivated this crop in flooded paddies for over 3,000 years. A flood is not a threat to water chestnut. A flood is its home. Number 7 can survive completely submerged for 2 weeks. Coming in at number 7, deep water rice. It chases rising floodwater, growing up to 4 inches per day to stay above it. Deep water rice, also called floating rice, is a remarkable flood-adapted variety that extends its stem as water levels rise. It can survive in water up to 5 meters deep. Farmers in Bangladesh and Southeast Asia have grown it for generations in areas that flood completely every monsoon season. When all other crops drown, deep water rice races the water to the surface and wins. Number 6 has been used as a survival starch for millennia. Coming in at number 6, lotus. Every part of this plant is edible. Root, seed, leaf, stem, all of it. The lotus, Nelimbo nucifera, is a complete survival food system, growing directly in standing water. Its thick rhizomes are packed with starch and grow up to 3 feet deep in flooded soil. The seeds are protein-rich and can be eaten raw, roasted, or dried for long-term storage. Sacred in multiple ancient cultures, not just for its beauty, because it kept people alive when floods came. Number 5 grows faster than almost any plant on Earth. Coming in at number 5, watercress. It grows in running floodwater. Where everything else drowns, it spreads. Watercress, Nasturtium officinale, is one of the most nutrient-dense plants ever consumed by humans. It requires constant water flow or shallow flooding to thrive. It spreads rapidly across flooded stream banks and channels, producing continuous harvests without replanting. It is loaded with vitamin C, K, and iron. British soldiers relied on it during wartime food shortages. Calorie for calorie, it is one of the most nutritious survival plants on the planet. Number 4 survived every major flood in recorded history. Coming in at number 4, cattail. Every single part of this plant is edible. Shoots, pollen, roots, and seed fluff. All of it. Cattail, typhus species, grows aggressively at the edges of flooded wetlands, marshes, and swollen riverbanks.
The starchy rhizomes can be processed into a flour-like powder. In spring, the green shoots taste like cucumber. The pollen is a protein-rich cooking ingredient. Native American tribes called cattail the supermarket of the swamp. In a flood scenario, it is a complete food source. Number 3 is the world's most productive aquatic crop per acre. Coming in at number 3, kangkong, swamp cabbage. In the Philippines, floods don't kill this crop. Floods accelerate it. Kangkong, a close relative of water spinach, grows in tropical flood zones with explosive speed. It can double its biomass in under a week in flooded conditions. The entire above-water plant is edible, raw, stir-fried, or boiled. It requires no soil amendment, no fertilizer, and minimal care. During typhoon recovery periods across Southeast Asia, kangkong has been the first food back on tables. Fast, reliable, unstoppable. Number 2 can grow in saltwater flooding too.
Coming in at number 2, wild rice. It grows in water so deep, boats harvest it instead of hands. Wild rice, Zizania species, is a semi-aquatic grain that grows in lakes, slow rivers, and deep seasonal floodplains. It requires standing water from 1 to 3 feet deep to germinate and grow. The grain is exceptionally high in protein compared to conventional rice, nearly twice the content. Native American communities across the Great Lakes region built entire food economies around wild rice. A flooded landscape was not a disaster, it was a harvest. And at number 1, the single most productive survival food for flooded land, coming in at number 1, azolla plus duckweed system. It doubles in size every 2 days, on floodwater, with zero soil, no seeds, no input. Azolla is a floating water fern that fixes atmospheric nitrogen and provides complete nutrition. Duckweed, the world's smallest flowering plant, produces more protein per acre than soybeans. Together, they form the most productive food system known to aquatic agriculture. They grow on the surface of any standing floodwater. Communities in Bangladesh, Vietnam, and China have used azolla duckweed systems for centuries to feed livestock and people through flood seasons. In a flooded world, this is how you eat. Azolla and duckweed, growing on a flood, producing more protein per acre than almost any land crop on Earth. Nature built these survival systems long before we thought to use them. A flood does not have to mean famine. These 10 plants prove that. The question is whether you know them before the waters rise. Hit subscribe and drop a comment. Which one shocked you most? We'll see you in the next countdown.